Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of March 23rd through the 29th. And during that time, we'll have a waning crescent moon for most of the week. And that's a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing. We will then move into the new moon energy on the 29th, which is a good time for a fresh start and new beginnings, a time to learn a new skill or start a new project, or maybe even make decisions. That is also the day of a solar eclipse, so that might be something that you will want to look into for that day. So keep those moon energies in mind as you're moving through your week. So also, Aquarius, I did want to mention that since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel and it's super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment for you to do that right now. Thank you so much, Aquarius. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I've noticed some repeat people coming back, and I really do appreciate your time. So, all right, your overall message, Aquarius, for this reading is show the world the real you. All right. Never bad advice there. All right, this will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So, of course, please take what resonates, leave what doesn't for someone else. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to remind you to learn something new this week. It is a good week for that. So, pick a topic that you've had some interest in and just take the time to really do a deep dive and focus on it. This could maybe, take an hour or two. I think you can, you can afford that time for yourself, but just really, dive in deep, study, take notes, and really just stop and think about, what you're learning. Take time to absorb it. So that's just my friendly reminder for the week. A lot of times, as adults, we forget to just stop and learn things and things that we're interested in. So, all right, Aquarius, your overall energy for this reading, present energy, is going to be the Devil card. So, overall message was show the world the real you, and we're arriving at the Devil card. So, what is the real you? This is our card of false truth. This is lack of confidence. This is fear of failure. This is that devil looking at you and saying, where can I make you not feel confident? So, have you been doing things in a way that's maybe not really who you are, and not being as real as you can be? You're kind of putting on a false front for the world. And maybe it's time to let some of that go. We're going to shed a little bit of that and really trust that the world is going to be okay with with who the real you is. I know it can be a little scary if that's something that's harder for you to do, and it is hard for some people. Aquarians tend to be a little bit a little bit detached. You guys are very philosophical. The Aquarians that I know, you're such deep thinkers, and a lot of times that's hard to share with the world of not a lot of deep thinkers. So, it might be time to reach out to maybe someone that you don't think is maybe as deep a thinker as you are, and you might be surprised. So, throw a little bone out there and see what happens. Your current situation is that, yeah, this is causing you a little bit of anxiety, and I see why. I understand, it's hard to keep up some sort of front and not be, and for you Aquarians, it's also very hard to be in a world where you do feel like everyone's very shallow and not a deep thinker. I'm not an Aquarius myself, but I do tend to be a deep thinker. And I also seek out people. I'm not very interested in small talk. I don't want to hear I don't talk about like the TV shows or I don't know. There's just stuff that's just seems kind of trivial to me. So there's other people out there, Aquarians, and find them, and again, just throw them a bone. Let's talk about something a little deeper. Sometimes if you explore people in that way, give them a little more of a chance. than you have in the past, and you will probably be very surprised because this is causing you some anxiety. It's anxious to keep up a false front, and you just want to let down and be yourself. So let's start to work on that. At the root of your situation is a little bit of heartbreak. So, and this could be that someone has kind of called you out on this and said, hey, you need to be more real. You need to be more of who you are. This false thing that you put up, and maybe someone kind of broke through, got to know you a little bit, and it was like, that's not really how you presented yourself. And, it could be that maybe they were kind of a more of a shallow thinker, and you came off that way, and they're not into the depth of the sort of things that you want to think about you know, with being kind of that deeper philosophical personality. So, what is in your recent past is kind of feeling like an outsider. So, of course, you would, because people are going to be more accepting of you, and you're going to feel less of an outsider when you can just be yourself. So, again, we're not going to let the devil get in your ear and kind of mess up your confidence. You need to just start step by step on learning how to be more confident so that we can get you over this anxiety. You can sleep better at night. On your mind, a little bit of conflict here with the five of wands. So some conflict that's on your mind, some debate. And this could be, typically this involves other people. You're not debating with yourself. So some sort of conflict here is on your mind. And let's just see what's going to unfold here. I'm very curious. These cards, this is a very interesting combination of cards. In your coming up here for you this week is also coming together in partnership. So it looks like I feel like you're coming out of some conflict and energy here. And that's where our fives are. We've got a couple of fives there. But here, there's a chance for you this week, I believe. This is where we're headed, is to meet someone that's just really more on your wavelength, if that makes sense. And this is where you're going to be the real you. This is where you're going to, these debate things and things that are on your mind, and you just can't. It's almost like I get the feeling that you just can't find your people, your group, this could be like your friend soul group, or your soulmate, that you keep trying and trying, and it's stressful. It's so stressful. But you're going to take a breath. You're not going to let this devil run you anymore. That's over this week. And when you come across this person that you're going to meet this week, you are going to let the facade down and just be who you are. Just be who you are. Show the world the real you. Let's just relax into it. And it looks like you're getting a chance here. You're getting a chance here with one person. And if you start this with one person, it's then, it's like a virus. It's so much easier than to do it with other people. So, very interesting. Your advice, Queen of Cups. So let's not be emotional about it. Let's maintain some emotional balance about it. Don't get too, we're going to meet this person, and we're not going to get in so deep so quick. Aquarians, you guys can be a little bit detached, and and that's okay, but this is someone that you really do want to show. You want to show who you are. So let's not be as detached, and let's just kind of, keep that emotional, I guess equilibrium is kind of the word. Just kind of be emotionally equal. There's no need to go over the top on either end of your emotions, if that makes sense to you. What is beyond your control is thinking about your future here with another two. So, a couple of twos here on the table. Let's see what else is going to come out. Secret desire, what you're trying to avoid, is the Ace of Cups. So, here's that emotion. So, is it your desire to, to meet someone like this, and to be free flowing with your emotions? But again, we're going to, like, and I think the thing I want to say is this is your question this week, right? Are you trying to avoid this flow of emotions, or is it your secret desire to have this flow of emotions? And again, if it's this person here, and I think the thing that you need to avoid is just going overboard with the emotions too soon. And I think the excitement of meeting this person who you feel like, oh my gosh, this is the person, this person gets me. And then you flood them with emotion, and you it's almost like a little bit too much. So I want you to maybe take just a step back this week and let things go, but let things go at kind of a slower pace. You want to show the world the real you, but let's take a breath, right? And I think you're going to get to be real with this person. So, but that's your big question this week, is this Ace of Cups, is do you want to be able to overflow those emotions, or are you trying to avoid that? Let's see what's in your outcome position. This is the Wheel of Fortune, which I love. This is you evolving. This is you kind of turning a page. This is the wheel in the sky keeps turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. I love that song. And a lot of times songs remind me of, when I pull a tarot card, it reminds me of a song. And that's awesome. This is you making those changes, making those important changes, and coming together with this person, but we're not going to overload them. I'm trying to think of an example. Someone who just pours it on really quick, really fast, and it can be a little off-putting for someone else, even though they like you and they want to get to know you. Just again, let's be careful about that. But that's your big question this week. What's hidden from you this week, Aquarius, is the world. So this is perfect balance. So I feel like what is hidden from you is kind of you kind of are a little bit off balance with this week. You're trying to figure out how to manage this, and certainly a new person that comes into your life that can throw you a little bit off balance. That you're like, oh, okay, I want to be the real me, but and I'm just getting kind of this feeling of just nervousness. You need to relax. You need to relax and just be yourself around this person when they come through. So and this balance is hidden from you, so because it's hidden, let's maybe try to find a little bit more of it. But your outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing for you, and that's just the way it is. You're going to wake up next week and life is going to be different because of whatever is happening with you this week. So that's exciting, right? That's the changes that we're all going through all the time. All right, let's get a final word here for Aquarius as they go through this week. I mean, I'm a little excited for you this week. I feel like you're meeting a new person, and that's so much fun. And I mean, this could be kind of, this isn't like the Lover's card, but it is, it could be romantic, but it could just be a friend that you meet. It's just someone that's really going to be on your wave. And after feeling like people that aren't on your wave, after feeling like that's where you're in, and you're this anxiety over it and this little bit of heartbreak, thank goodness this person comes along. And that's just how the universe works sometimes. Sometimes just when you need that person, there they are. All right. Be decisive. We're going to grab one more card. I just had that card pop up in another reading. Might have been for, I think, Sagittarius had that card. Also, make a plan. Look at the couple on that card. Make a plan. Yeah, make a plan and stick to it. Again, here's your big question. Are you going to have this huge emotional outpouring? Your advice this week is to maintain emotional balance, even though you might be really excited and you might want to tell this person, oh my God, I love you. You're the best person, best thing I've ever met. Let's run away and get married. No, let's calm down. Let's take things one step at a time with this person. Let's not scare them off. You want to be the real you, but you also just don't want to be, I'm just getting this emotional overwhelmment, and that may be what's happening. But your advice is to kind of just maintain some emotional stability and patience, and just kind of chill out. Be a little chill this week. Show the world the real you. Chill out a little bit. Don't get so excited. And I think this person, I think it's going to be, this is someone who really is going to have a big effect on your life. So Aquarius, I'm so excited about this week for you. I think it's fun. I love this week. I do want you to go look up the angel number 55, and also, what did I, it was 22. Yeah. 55 and 22. See if those numbers help you with anything that you're going through this week. Sometimes that's why those numbers start to appear, and maybe watch for those numbers later on in the week. You may see them again. So that's kind of how synchronicities work. So, Aquarius, I really do appreciate your time with me here today. And I do hope there was something that you can take away and use. Please drop me a comment if you're comfortable. Let me know what you're going through. I do post readings every week. So come next week and we'll see if this situation continues or if there's a totally new energy here for you. Also, I will ask again, if you enjoy my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel and I would really appreciate that. And most importantly, it helps you find me next week. So thanks so much, Aquarius, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.